Good afternoon, beautiful people. So today I'm going to actually record my video on emotions. Now, I wrote this down the other day because I felt like it just came to me and it was something that I needed to do, because it's important that we're aware of our emotions and we feel our emotions. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist. So obviously if you are struggling with anything, please do go seek professional help. These are just things that I've learned about on my own journey. So I will be looking down at my book because obviously I've wrote stuff down. But I feel it's quite important that we talk about emotions, because emotions often get never really spoke about. And it's important, like I say, that we feel them. So yeah, let's just jump into it. So emotions. Today we're going to be talking about emotions. So what are emotions? Well, there is 4 types of emotions. There's happiness, sadness, fear and anger. There is also 2 other ones, which is surprise and disgust as well. But we're going to focus on happiness, sadness, fear and anger today. So happiness, what is it? Happiness is a positive emotion associated with pleasure, joy and contentment. Sadness, what is sadness? Sadness is a negative emotion associated with feelings of sorrow, grief or disappointment. Fear is an emotion triggered by perceived threats or danger, often leading to avoidance or escaped behaviours. Anger is an emotion characterised by feelings of hostility, frustration or irritation, often in response to perceived injustice or provocation. So there we are, that's the main 4: happiness, sadness, fear and anger. Now, it's okay to feel all these emotions. That's what they are there for. They're meant to be felt. But I feel it's so important to know where you are with your emotions, because in order to heal them, you have to feel the emotions. And we're going to be moving on to that. So with all that emotions being said and covered, there's also ways that we can push our emotions to a side or not deal with them. So there's get my words out. Suppressed emotions are feelings that an individual actually tries to push away or not express, often due to discomfort or a belief that you cannot handle those emotions. Now that's suppressed emotions. And emotional repression is unconsciously pushing away painful or uncomfortable emotions and memories, often stemming from the past or past traumas. These can lead to lack of awareness of these emotional and their potential impact. So that's repression. They can lead to lack of awareness of these emotions and their potential impact. Right? It's so important that we understand them. People can suppress emotions due to several factors: discomfort, fear of overwhelm, social conditioning or trauma. Now, you can put them to a side because they just sort of get put in a memory box, if you like. And we can just say, oh yeah, we're fine, we're okay with that, we've dealt with it. But then something will come along that will trigger them emotions, and that is when you know you haven't dealt with them, because they've just been put in a box. Somebody said something, somebody does something that puts you in that fight or flight mode, and then emotions come back to the surface. Now, consequences of suppressing your emotions: gives you increased stress, mental health issues, relationship problems, physical symptoms and emotional numbness. So again, they show up every day in your life. although you think you've dealt with them emotions, if you're just suffering for lots of stress, mental health issues, relationship problems, physical symptoms and emotional numbness, you haven't actually dealt with it. You've just tucked it away in a little box. Now, like I've said before, I am not a professional health person. I'm not a doctor. I'm just somebody that has been on my own healing journey and worked through my own emotions, my own traumas and stuff. So this is why I feel it's important to be aware of your emotions and how to feel them in order to heal them. Okay? So managing suppressed emotions. Acknowledge that your emotions are there. You know, if you're feeling sad, let that emotion come in. Address the emotion. Feel it, because in order to feel it, then you can heal it. You can move forward with it. If you're happy, brilliant. You know, happiness is just such a good feeling. It's like endorphins, isn't it? It's happy, nice times. Sadness comes along with grief. You know, sometimes we like to blindside our feelings and push it to a side because we don't want to feel it. Now, I'm just going to go back to myself here with my nana. So obviously when my nana got called into hospital, we didn't think she was going to make it the first 24 hours. And I come home and I literally cried my eyes out for about 24 hours because I was already on my journey and I knew I was going to have to deal with it. So I literally cried and cried and cried. I looked horrific. I didn't go to work the next day because I just had overwhelm of emotions, but I know that I needed to feel all that to cope with that and to heal. And as it turns out, she was fine for that. She didn't obviously pass away the next day. It was later on in the week. And again, I was there with her when she passed. But because I'd cried and I knew I'd come to terms with that and this is what the outcome was going to be, I feel that also helped me cope with how I've coped with Nana's death. Because honestly, before all this healing, I literally didn't know I would cope with losing Nana or Grandad. It was one of the biggest things that I'd ever dreaded in my life. And I've surprised myself. And sometimes I actually question myself if I've suppressed that emotion. But I don't feel I have. Because I cried literally for 24 hours non-stop. I wrote all my emotions down, how I was feeling. But we'll do another video on that as well. So anyway, that's that. So I acknowledged that emotion was there. We need to recognise it and accept it, that all emotions, including negative ones, are a normal part of the human experience. Now here's something else going off on a little tangent. I believe, now I'm on my own journey, it's up to you what you want to believe in. I believe we are a soul in a human vessel, coming down to do what we need to do, and when we leave, our soul leaves and goes up into the universe or to heaven or wherever you would like to think. But anyway, that's something else. So recognise and accept that all emotions, including negative ones, are a normal part of the human experience. And then with your emotions, you know, you can sort of identify triggers as well. And you can understand what situations or thoughts tend to lead to emotion suppression. So I used to get triggered really easy. Really bad. Like literally, someone would say something to me in a specific tone and I'd literally fly off the handle because that is through trauma and how people spoke to me. I then felt like I needed to be in fight or flight mode and survival, so I would attack back because I was protecting myself. So I'm fully aware of my triggers now and I choose not to react. I might sit and evaluate what somebody said and I will respond back to them, but I won't be responding back in rage. I'll be having a adult conversation or whatever that needs to be addressed. I'm going to address it because I'm standing in my true authentic self now, and I don't allow people to speak to me like rubbish or whatever now. And it's not from an ego base, that is because I don't even speak about myself that way now. So I'm not allowing anybody else to talk to me like that. That's just a firm boundary and self-respect for myself. So I've understood my own triggers now, so I can deal with my emotions. I've regulated all my emotions in myself now. And there will be times when I go off on one, because healing is not just one line, it's like all over, it's not linear. So there is going to be times that I probably will get triggered, but that then is what triggered me and what do I need to learn from that? What's it showing me that I haven't healed yet? So there's always room for growth and improvement. So you need to practice emotional regulations. And by that, you need to learn healthy coping mechanisms for managing your emotions. So for me, that is like I meditate every morning before I go to work. Recently, I've ramped that up. I've been meditating quite a lot. Breath work, seeking support from therapists. You can do journaling, exercise, whatever makes you feel good and makes you be able to regulate your own emotions to make you feel better. If you're struggling with persistent suppression of it and its negative consequences, then absolutely consider guidance from a doctor and a therapist and counsellor to help you sort them issues out. Because again, if we're not aware of it and we're not addressing it, then we can't heal it, because we're just pushing it down until somebody triggers us. Then we're going off on one, and then we'll push it down again, and the whole cycle starts again. So again, I'm not a professional doctor. I'm not a medical professional at all. This is just my own experience that I'm sharing with you to hopefully help you come to terms with your emotions and feel them and heal them, basically. You need to free yourself from your own judgment, because we can all be too hard on ourselves and feel like we're going to be judged, or we're judging ourselves for feeling what we're feeling. Let it go. Feeling emotions is a normal human experience. So feel it. And then however that feels for you, you need to take your next course of action on healing that. Seeking help is more powerful than you're ever going to know, because by seeking help and addressing them issues, you're going to grow and be so much better in a mental headspace. And your life will probably get better. So let's move on to the next bit. Emotions can be understood as a form of energy. So now I'm going to go into a little bit of an energy part of it, because you probably all do know now, that I love energy. I just feel energy. I just know it's just always been there dormant in me. But it was something of a course that I went on, where we had to do this particular exercise, and I could feel the energy, and it was the first time. So since then I've kind of gone into that. So I do love energy stuff, and I'm obviously learning courses regarding energy healing and stuff. So there you go. So emotions can be understood as a form of energy in motion, impacting our physical and mental state. They are not static but dynamic, consistently shifting and transforming, influencing our thoughts and behaviours and overall well-being. When emotions are blocked or suppressed, they can create internal tensions, while acknowledging them allows for a healthy energy flow. Well, this is where I sort of did my energy releasing it, because I did chakra healing for mine, and I absolutely love chakra healing. Now I've done Reiki level 1, and now I've done that. That is about self-healing, taking it further. I work on my own chakra healing. Like last night, actually, I lied in bed. I did my own chakra healing on all my 7 chakras myself. That is something that I am definitely going to be getting into. I've done a chakra healing diplomas course as well as a angels healing diploma course, and I will be doing progression into Reiki as well. So yeah, so that's really exciting, and I can't wait for that, because I absolutely love how it makes me feel and how it relaxes the other person and the other person would feel. So now we're just going off back onto energy psychology. This approach focuses on the connection between the mind and body. So we need to be connected from our mind and body. And that's why meditating is really good, because it connects you to everything. So vibrational frequency, I love high vibes. Some perspectives suggest that emotions have different vibrational frequencies, with a positive emotion associated with the higher frequency and negative emotions with lower frequencies. So, you know, you can always be like, oh God, why is that person so happy all the time? You know, that's a high vibe energy. And somebody that might be always feeling down or looks on the worst case scenario of everything and self-doubts themselves, has limit beliefs, and that is like a low vibrational energy. But there is good news for that, because you can work on that. There's plenty of videos on YouTube and meditations and stuff, even 5 minutes of guided meditation, because it is difficult to do silent meditation to start with, because you've got to get used to closing your mind down. And when you're doing these meditations, even guided ones, best with headphones in. And when you're doing them, if a thought pops into your mind, you know, because it happens, acknowledge that thought's there and let it go, and go back to your meditation. You know, it's really important, I think, that people meditate. I love it. So emotional exhaustion as well. Chronic stress and unresolved negative emotions can lead to emotional exhaustion, highlighting the impact of emotions on our energy levels. So emotions just play havoc with, like, maybe your cortisol levels and everything, fight or flight mode. Once you feel safe and you've done the inner work, you're no longer living on high cortisol levels and in fight or flight. Your body is in regulation, because your emotions are all regulated. So being out of regulation with your emotions causes so much havoc on your body on a day-to-day life, and we just don't address it. We just think, oh, it's normal to go ahead and carry on. But then when something actually happens to us, then it's like the nail hits that we have to then work on that. But why not just start practicing mindfulness now and regulating your emotions and just being more in control of yourself, your life, and trying to live a happier life by regulating, feeling and healing your emotions. So for like empaths, some individuals are highly attuned to the emotions of others and can experience a deeper connection. So I feel like I am definitely one of them person. I'm an empath. I just am. And this is why I'm on my journey. But empaths often give too much. And sometimes you have to pour into yourself. And I used to give all the time and do stuff for people, but lately I've been in, for the last 7 or 8 months, I've been in hermit mode, because I've been focusing on myself. And it's not selfish. It's not selfish to have some self-care time for yourself to evolve and grow. So just know that you're not being selfish. Now there is other ways you can, obviously, if you want to go down the energy road of that, like clearing your energy. I use sage all the time. You can call your energy back to you. But these are all different things. that I will go on to when I've done another video, when I've done some notes, and I'll do another video following on emotions. But definitely to start off with, I highly recommend everybody who watches this, spread the word, share the love. Go on YouTube and do a 5-minute grounding meditation every day, whether that be morning, night, when you can fit in. It's 5 minutes, and just write a journal of day 1 and then see how you feel in 30 days or 21 days or however many days, even 7 days. Just do it and see if you're thinking, oh gosh, yeah, that's really helping me. But yeah, get on YouTube, get a 5-minute grounded meditation and start tomorrow or even today, because there's plenty of hours left in the day. You could start tonight. Get your headphones in, it's 5 minutes. Take yourself off somewhere where you're not going to be distracted and do a grounded meditation, because once you start clearing your mind and stuff, then you can start tapping into your emotions and where your emotions are and work through them. Feel them emotions, and it's not nice, not gonna lie. It's you're really going deep into the shadow work, but the benefits of releasing all that trauma, energy, whatever, is so beneficial to you. So just think of yourself for once and get ready to feel them emotions, to heal them emotions, and get some grounding meditation done. I hope you all have a blessed rest of your day. Peace, love and light, Donna.